Hello everyone, it's Julian here. If you are looking for a simple way to set goals and achieve them, then look no further. I am about to reveal some easy ways to do just that, so you can stay accountable without losing your motivation and follow through on your objectives. I understand that setting goals or resolution and staying on track can be difficult and frustrating, but do not worry, because today I am going to share with you how to break down your goals and stay on course by using my template to get you to the finish line. Many years ago, I had the pleasure to have met Bob Proctor from The Secret at his home in Toronto. The man was a true inspiration, and he had a very special way of boosting your confidence, pushing out the noise and making you focus on what matters the most to you. Your dreams, your lifetime goals, and your ambitions, and more importantly, how to get there. One thing he said in particular that stuck with me, he said, to achieve your goals, you have to know where you are going and convince yourself that you are going to get there. What a powerful message that was for me. This gave me clarity on the necessity to create a plan to follow and take the actions required to get there. So first things first, let's forget about these resolutions that we're never gonna keep. I'm sure that you've noticed every year, most people who made New Year resolution are done by the end of January.
New Year's resolution, drink less.
And research shows that only 9% of people who made resolutions actually complete them. This is because it takes time to change a habit. And if you really are serious about changing a habit or reaching a new goal, you have to treat it like any other project in life. This means you need proper planning, because without plans, you have very little chance to succeed. So instead of making resolutions that you have very little chance of sticking to, set measurable goals that you can break down into different steps. And each steps will get you closer to actually reaching them. If you have never done this before, I suggest starting with 4 main goals for the year. That will make one in each quarter for you to focus on. I suggest you use my templates attached in the description below, and I'll show you how to break it down into monthly tasks or mini goals, as I like to call them, making it easier to meet your main goals. So whether you want to make more money, you want to lose weight, start running consistently, or going after that promotion, or maybe making a career change, whatever your goal may be, if you want to make it happen, you need a solid plan and to take action. Consistency will be key, and small daily action will lead to massive results. Please let me know in the comments down below if you are someone that sets New Year resolutions, or do you prefer to just set goals for the year ahead. Another reason it is imperative for anyone to have a real plan in life is because we are all so busy with our lives that without a clear direction on where to go, we are just wandering around. No real meaning. So a simple but very important truth to understand is that if you're not going after your goals with a plan that you've established for yourself right now, it means that you are unfortunately following someone else's plan. The daily actions you are doing, and they're usually the ones that you like to do the least, they are fulfilling someone else's plan. An example of this is when your boss is pushing you to reach your monthly target. You are obviously doing your duty, but if on your spare time you are too tired to work on yourself or work towards your own goals, then you're fulfilling someone else's plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Simple as that. Setting goals isn't just about making a wish list for the year. It's about creating a roadmap for your life. Goals give us direction, motivation, and a clear way to measure our progress. It's one of my favorite things to do each year. You let your mind run free. Whatever it is that I really want to get or achieve that year, I write it down and then highlight my top choices, and I organize them month by month. Next, I break each of these goals into smaller actions I need to take in order to get there, as I know that each action is getting me closer and closer to my main goal. These small wins will add up to big successes. One recurring issue that I hear when setting goals is that people put a roadblock into their success because they believe that their past actions will repeat and then will dictate their future. But that's not the case. It's actually the beauty of being human. We can do something or be a certain way for years, and if we decide to change and we put some energy and effort into it, we can create a new habit, change the direction our lives were taking. So it's not because you lived a certain way for years that you have to keep going on that same path forever. I was a bartender for 10 years until one day I decided it was time. I was going to open my own bar that I had always wanted to. So I set that as my goal and started working actively at it. Every dollar I was saving was getting me closer. I read books about starting my own business and made a business plan to lay out exactly what was needed to make my goal a reality. Once it was all planned in front of me, I had a visual of my goal and its roadmap. I worked step by step until I got there. And boy, let me tell you that there is no better feeling than when you achieve something new, something big, something that you and your entourage thought was impossible. What a satisfaction that was. It's true fulfillment. To be honest with you, for me, that's the definition of happiness. Pushing yourself to new heights, improving yourself, make the impossible possible. But above all, the best thing about setting goals and achieving them is that it gives you confidence. When you see that it's doable and you get to the finish line, you'll be so proud. You'll be so happy. You'll have newfound respect for yourself. So, how are we going to do this? How do you find and set your goals? Well, by writing your goals down, it makes it real. From an idea in your head to an actual goal to focus on. It's like a binding contract that you make with yourself. Now let's put pen to paper. Start by brainstorming. What do you really want to achieve this year? Remember, your goals should excite you and feel meaningful. Then we'll break the big goals into smaller, manageable steps. All right, so be specific. You have to define what you want to achieve as clearly as possible. For example, if you want to learn how to speak French, don't just write, I want to speak French. Be more specific and write that you want to be a level 3 by the end of the year, or you want to know 50 words by the end of the month. This way, you can really measure your progress. Start by writing down in details your main goals for the year. This is the good stuff, like buying your first house, start an investment portfolio, maybe buy a new car, or plan that vacation you've always dreamed about. You can also set goals of getting rid of bad habits. For example, I was a smoker for years, but once I put my mind into it and I convinced myself it was time, I decided that it wasn't for me anymore. It felt so good to free myself from such a bad habit. It wasn't easy, but with a proper plan in place, I did find it easier to follow through. And the giant plus when you drop a bad habit is you are usually replacing it with a good one. So for me, once I quit smoking, I was more motivated to get healthier, so I played more sports and I started working out more consistently. It's like a double positive. You get rid of a bad habit and then you replaced it with a good one. Next step is your goal have to be measurable. How will you track your progress? When we talk about measurable goals, we are focusing on the tangible aspects of tracking progress. So ask yourself, how will I know I'm moving closer to my goal? It's all about quantifiable indicators. If your goal is to save money, decide on an amount and track your savings monthly. If it's fitness related, track your workouts or your progress in endurance or strength. Use tools like the template I've attached in the description below, or find an app to help you. The key is to have clear, regular check-ins with yourself. This not only shows how far you've come, but also keeps you motivated and focused on the next milestone. Remember, what gets measured gets managed. By keeping a close eye on your progress, you are setting yourself up for success. Next up, your goal has to be achievable. Is your goal realistic with effort? An achievable goal should stretch your abilities but still remain possible. If you dream of running a marathon but have never run before, start with a smaller goal like completing a 5K. Consider your current commitments and resources. Do you have the time, energy, and the support needed? If not, what chance can you make to accommodate your goal? It's also about being honest with yourself. If a goal feels too daunting, remember that you will break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. This way, you're building confidence as you go, making the once unachievable entirely possible. By following the plan, by the end of the year, those mini goals brought you step by step to the overall commitment you set for yourself. It may just sneak up on you. Every big achievement starts with a decision to try, and your goals should be a reflection of who you are and who you aspire to be. When your goals resonate with your inner self, you'll find a deeper motivation and, hopefully, a more meaningful journey towards achieving them. And lastly is deadlines. You have to set up deadlines to keep yourself accountable. Having a clear time frame creates a sense of urgency and helps you organize your efforts. It's not just about saying you'll do something. It's about deciding when you'll do it. For example, if your goal is to write a book, set a deadline for the first draft, then one for editing, and finally for seeking publication. Each phase has its own timeline, keeping you consistently on track. Your deadlines should be realistic, but also challenging. They need to push you forward, but also take into account other life commitments. And remember, it's okay to adjust these timelines if circumstances change, as long as you stay committed to the goal. Remember, you need to believe in your goals. Make a solid plan of action for yourself and take action as often as possible, and you will reach your dreams faster than you believe. At the end of each month, see what worked and what didn't. Did you achieve your mini goals? Are you one step closer to your main goal? You need to assess the past month and readjust for the month ahead. Nobody in their right mind would build a house without proper planning or drawings. So it's the same for every other area of life. Planning is the key to success. With proper planning, you have exactly the roadmap to follow, and you can measure your progress. You can actually see if you are behind or ahead and reassess along the way. So please, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if one of your goals for this year is to buy a rental property, you can watch this video, Real Estate Investing in 10 Easy Steps, and I'll see you there.